What happens when you've tried to date God's way, but with no positive results? I only see 3 options. 1, turn away from God. Option number 2, you continue serving God, but with hidden resentment and anger. Or option number 3, you open up to God, the deepest places of your heart, so he can touch you where you need him most. You cry when you feel like crying, scream when you feel like screaming, but you choose to walk in faith. Grab some popcorn, curl up with your pet, or if you're like I was, your favorite stuffed animal, and let's journey to the altar together. Hi guys, as you can tell, we're reading Journey to the Altar by Diane White-Clayton, Dr Dee, as she is fondly known. Dr Dee was actually one of my professors in school, and I didn't know, number 1, that she had a book, number 2, that she got married at 42, number 3, that she was a virgin when she got married. So we had lunch and I found all that out and I was like, gagged, need the book right now, need to read it for my peeps too. So that's what I'm gonna do today.
You're welcome.
Let me see what the chapters are called. The Proposal, Mommy and Daddy and the Love I Couldn't See, My First Date, My First Kiss, Disguising Brokenness with Spirituality, Help Me Lord, I'm Horny, Spread Your Wings and Wait, Making a List, Then Letting It Go, Heart, Soul and Bodyguard, Non-Negotiable Protective Covering. I think that's where we're gonna land. If you have the book, most of you probably would not because I just found out about it, but I'm gonna link it below. Get yourself a copy now. You can pause this video, buy your copy, and then come back. I'm not gonna be offended. It's gonna be so fun. Chapter 8, Heart Guard, Soul Guard, and Bodyguard, Non-Negotiable Protective Covering. Saturday, June 28th, 1997, 12:12 a.m. This is a diary entry. I love it already. Thursday, wait, no, I was gonna say, should I do her voice? I cannot do her voice. Thursday, I met another prospect. Very nice, outgoing, well off. Tonight, we went out. Downtown to the pier, then to the movies. We saw the new Walt Disney movie, Hercules. It was okay, the movie that was. The date, on the other hand, was somewhat difficult. Oh no. At the pier, he put his hand on my back and rubbed it back and forth in a gesture of light affection. How sweet, I thought. But on a deeper level, my far-off distant longing for affection peeked its head out of the fog. I brushed it off though. Gradually, the affection increased. We were holding hands. Holding hands, Diane? She cracks me up. I love Dr. Dee so much. What about your promise to yourself to not even hold hands with a man, a potential mate type man, until you were in a seriously committed relationship? Seriously committed is the only kind I would be in. All night, I was uncomfortable. He grabbed my hand several times at the movie and stroked it in different ways. Of course, I wanted to respond by returning the gesture or drawing closer into him, and certainly he was trying to start a fire. But soon, my desire to respond was extinguished. All I could think of was how not to excite him. Should I mark this video as 18 plus? I don't know. Let's keep going. I tried to remain as still and responseless as possible. Sad, ain't it? To have to turn yourself off. I kept thinking how I wanted to tell him in some way to tone it down, but I didn't want to hurt him or make him feel rejected like I did a previous guy I'd gone out with. So I played the zombie role. Eventually, he'd stop, right? Once I stretched my neck and he began massaging it.
Cut the camera.
Boundaries. Good grief. I forgot some women use that as a signal to ask for a more affectionate touch. Do women do that? Let me see. I don't know. This is 1997, so maybe this is 30 years ago. Wow, things probably have changed. That was not my intention. My neck was just stiff. Don't move, don't respond, I told myself, and it stopped. Be formal in the car when saying goodnight. Turn on the inside light as if you need it, and that'll destroy any thoughts of kissing. I didn't want to spend one extra moment with this guy, and certainly did not want him kissing on me. It worked. He didn't try to make a move. I felt a bit like an object. It was a reminder of how dating is for many people. You meet, you go out, affection begins early on, and the night ends at someone's place. I cried a little when I got home. Dr. Dee played Strength of My Life on the piano. By the way, she is a phenomenal pianist, composer, singer, woman, safe place, everything. She's just phenomenal. She's a woman. Phenomenally. Love her down. She cried, she played on the piano, she went into the hot tub, and she thought. I was 32 when that date occurred. Over a decade removed from it, I still understand the intensity of the emotions I felt that night, even though I'm in a very different place. Reading this now sort of saddens me. I wish Diane, the happily married woman I am today, could talk with that single and waiting with no one in sight Diane. I'd offer her my shoulder and lovingly say, girl, you dry those tears. What was so great about that guy anyway? Plus, you don't know how precious your body is? Even the slightest touch that feels out of order has no place on you. You are God's temple, period. Don't ever put yourself through that again. Remember Jesus and how angry he was when the money changers were disrespecting the temple by their conduct and how he violently threw them out? He feels that strongly about protecting you. And that's the same attitude you have to have the next time a man so much as touches you without you feeling comfortable about it. Every lady wants her suitor to be the one that protects her, the one who guards her when they're together.
That's what real men do.
But when he doesn't, you have to become your own bodyguard and tell that octopus to shut it down. Then I'd put on some upbeat praise music and say to myself, come on, honey, let's dance the victory. God moved another jerk out of your path. I'm so sorry, but Dr. Dee actually cracks me up. She literally cracks me up. I wish she was here. Qualities of a good bodyguard. If you're like me and have found yourself in one too many situations, my accent is all over the place because I'm like trying to read it like her, I'm trying to read it like me, I'm just trying to read it, honey. This is something. Okay. Qualities of a good bodyguard. If you're like me and have found yourself in one too many situations where you are too vulnerable, maybe it's time to start taking on the mindset of a bodyguard. True. You need to become your own bodyguard with the strength of the Lord working through you to protect your body, heart, and soul from any more games or self-defeating mindsets. You know when you have those guy friends that like get a little bit too close for comfort and you have to tell yourself, oh no, this is just how he is. Untell yourself that. You're your own bodyguard, okay? Bodyguards are rarely seen, or like at least they're not in the pictures and stuff, but trust me, when there's someone coming in their personal space, the personal space of their client, the bodyguard is all you see. Like, even if they tell you you're being weird, you're doing too much, protect your body, girl or guy, whoever's listening. A good bodyguard watches her client at all times. What did I just say? While scoping her surroundings. She detaches herself emotionally so she's never distracted, always ready to react with quick thinking and good judgment. She is focused and armed, and her training prepares her to withstand any opponent. Not just the ugly ones. Not just the ugly ones. Especially the ones that you're actually attracted to. Okay? The best bodyguard quickly detects hidden dangers by stopping attackers dead in their tracks. It is imperative that you understand how to guard your heart, the seat of your will, as well as the tender core of your emotional self. You need to guard your soul, your eternal essence, and the deepest part of your being. And you must guard your body. your outer casing, the temple of the Holy Spirit, wherein Jesus resides. Without proper guarding, you run the risk of being uncovered when you date, making yourself a sitting duck for every demon-driven loser that comes along. Demon-driven loser is my new insult. Who that guy? He's a demon-driven loser. I don't even want to talk to him. My American accent is actually like so good. You guys tell your movie directors to hire me. I low-key still have beef with Disney Channel. Otherwise, I'd been like, Disney, call me. Conflict of interest though, because Dr. Dee actually trained some Disney vocalists. But anyway, there are some evil, vicious men out there, many of whom are dressed in sheep's clothing, facts, quoting scriptures, facts, and sitting right in church, also facts. Literally, like today, it's not every man that speaks in tongues that's a man of God. Think about that girl that was following Paul around, prophesying. Someone that was not discerning would have said, oh, she's a prophetic little girl. Wow, we should train her up. Paul was like, shut up, you demon, you know? Anyway, don't be deceived. Satan is serious about a 1, 2, 3 punch, especially designed to 1, kill, 2, steal, and 3, destroy your heart and soul and body. Jesus said, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy, but I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Having Jesus at the center of your life ensures that you will experience life to its fullest at all times. Not just when you're married, not just when you're finally having sex, not just when you're being desired by a man or whatever, at all times. Starting now, while you're single. Okay. The more you journey to the altar, spending quality time in prayer, talking and listening to God, the keener your discernment will become. Better distinguishing the voice of God from the voice of the enemy. Amen. Beware. Okay. This is nothing you can do completely on your own. Jesus alone defeats Satan's purposes in your life. However, Jesus teaches us how to equip ourselves in order to allow him to do his work in us. Remember, we are co-laborers with Christ. 1 Corinthians 3:9 says, for we are fellow workmen, joint promoters, laborers together with and for God. God doesn't command you to do something and then sit back with folded arms and see if you can cut it. No way. He's right there every step of the way, ready to guide and strengthen you the moment you ask. He sends angels to fight on your behalf, moving his spirit in you to perform his commands. For it is God who is working in you, enabling you both to will and to act for his good purpose. He will empower you. He'll give you discernment, and he'll speak to you through prayer, scripture, and the wisdom of others. I think this is actually going to be such a good read for me. Ooh, there's some questions at the end. Okay, group exercise. So this is actually meant to be done like in small groups with women that are also virgins, waiting to be married, widows, I think she also said, just anyone on the journey to the altar. So this is a group exercise. Take a heart inventory. Out of the issues of the heart, life flows. But Jeremiah says the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? If your heart was a flower, what kind of flower would it be? That's a good question. If my heart was a flower, there was definitely a time where my heart would have been a Venus flytrap, killing any and every. But now, if my heart was a flower, I don't remember the name. Night something. It's the one that only blooms at a certain period. It was in Crazy Rich Asians. I'll put it in here somewhere, but I think it would be that like it's beautiful, but like it only opens up at the right time, at the appointed time. Let me say it like that. Christianese, sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. Let me move on. There was a page that I flipped to, And I didn't want to read it because I was like, oh my gosh, this is intimate. But I was like, let me give you guys a little teaser. This is from chapter 14, and it's called Help Me, Lord, I'm horny. I'm gonna read just a little bit called Virgins Are People Too. It is funny how people make assumptions about virgins, especially virgins over 25. I think this decade, it would be virgins over 18, like, whatever. When I would tell folk I was a virgin, their responses usually fit into two categories. A typical response from non-Christians or Christians who didn't believe in celibacy went something like this. First, they'd look at me like I was an alien who just stepped off a spaceship. And they didn't know what to say. I could tell it was hard for them to believe me, but somehow they knew I was telling the truth. For some, after the shock wore off, they would start to feel sorry for me, but then something interesting would happen. Maybe it was because of the peace they saw in my face, but they'd pause and look, allowing their minds to go to another place. Then all of a sudden, they'd look back at me. And with an air of admiration or even reverence, they'd give me a nod and say something like, "That's really cool." Despite their philosophical or moral stance on the matter, it seemed as though God would touch something deep inside of them. Your story is touching people's hearts. As weird or as soloed out as you feel your story, it's inspirational. So tell it. Another word for story is your testimony. So I hope you guys are sharing testimonies with your friends, with your church, with your family. Share them because we overcome by them, okay? Period. Such responses, sometimes coming from men as well as women, spoke volumes. For some, the wheels turned inside their spirits as they thought back on sexual encounters they wished they had not had. They'd explained how they wondered whether their lives would have been better or purer or healthier, had they too waited. The reactions from Christians were a little different. Their eyes would get big, their mouths would drop, and they would go into accolades that felt almost like idol worship. I think they would envision me walking around day and night with my hands raised in worship, skipping on clouds, singing songs of lyrical soprano notes with the angels. Of course, it was a delightful blessing when I encountered someone who waited until they had me off to the side after I ministered, and they'd quietly reveal that they too were virgins. I saw an interesting mix of embarrassment and hopefulness in their eyes. Overall, it appeared that for the awe-stricken believers, I was seen as some super holy person who had no sexual struggles or yearnings, maybe a Pentecostal female version of the Pope. I remember encounters with men whose demeanor actually changed when they heard I was a virgin. So much so they literally stepped back and felt they could no longer touch me, like not even a handshake. At first, that saddened me and I felt a little strange. However, I soon realized their apprehension was a good thing. Many of those critters needed to back off. They were up to no good. And it was simply the power of God at work with his angels, whacking those jerks upside the head as if to say, "Get to stepping, you heathen." That is hilarious. Guys, I wish I could read the whole thing for you, but I'm not gonna do that because I want you to go get your own copy. Journey to the Altar. Can you see it? Can you see it? And I wore my Not by Sight, by Faith shirt today because clearly that is what Dr. Dee did. She was walking by faith, not by sight. 42 years? Man, I know she saw some things. I know she went through some things, child. But guess what? God strengthened her. And he's gonna strengthen you too. So yeah, get the book. You can follow her. She is Dr. Diane White-Clayton. I believe She's Diane White-Clayton on all social platforms. I will confirm that and list them right here. Send her some love, get yourself a copy of this book, and be blessed. Love and light. Remember to comment and like. See you guys next month. Bye.